So, welcome back to another episode of Righteous Rich Podcast, and thank you for tuning in. And today's episode will be very interesting because I have a guest, Sister Alia AlSairafi. It's something related to language. Of course, we talk about science and mathematics and the advancements in last 1,000 years. What happened in Baghdad and whatever happened in last 100 years. Those are great things, but what is missing out? Maybe something related to language, linguistics. If people don't know how to comprehend things or learn things, then how are they going to learn something which is advanced and something which they can discover more than what we have seen so far? Maybe we have to rediscover something related to language. And this is something, a challenging area where I have faced before. And I still face it. Learning language is not something which someone can go so easily. You need to really take out time for that. This is also a skill area. This is something to improve also. So let's get into the subject, and I have the guest today. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I just need to know like how it was like started, but at least if you can share a little bit of your, I know teenage question is always a challenging question for anybody, but if still something to know about your background, we'll get to know, because I have felt like it was personally for me, teenage life is always like a challenge for anybody.
Yeah, well, I think it's a lot more challenging now for kids these days and for the parents, kids these days. I think our childhood was, our teenage experience was so much different. It was a lot more chill.
Yeah. Chill and not like you sit inside the four walls.
Right now, it's all online.
Yeah.
For the kids. For us, it was either with your friends or
your social
cousins or at home. Most of the time at home.
Yeah.
So.
But education time. Those days, the education is kind of like very tough. Or people were into like education all the time.
Yeah, the mentality, I think, was different. I think the direction of our parents was more of get the grades, get your education, find a job, move on with the
career stuff,
and then stick to your job. Don't divert.
You don't get extra stuff, no creativity, no extracurricular stuff.
Sports. It really depended on the household itself, the interest of the child, and then what was available.
How about you?
Yeah. Me, I had nothing going on
during those days.
I think I jumped from one thing to another, but I was never like stuck to one passion of doing something specific, like arts or sports or.
You tried, but
sports, no, was so not my area.
Really? Yeah. So education and linguistic stuff.
That came so much later.
Really? Even the environment we have, Bahrain. Okay, is it because of the environment or the culture or the system which is there in Bahrain, or is it something like those days were like that? The mindset itself was like that.
I don't know. I would have to say it depends on the household. Like what your household was like, your immediate family, what was available for you, like your social circle outside the neighborhood, what was it like? So I don't think there was a specific trend going on. It just so happened that
good.
It wasn't very exciting for me. Like, really? If I look in retrospect, it wasn't really an exciting time.
Most of the time when we discuss in the mastermind programs it's like mostly blamed on the parents, It's not parenting only for parents, right?
No, I don't think anyone is to blame with parenting. I mean, it's more of what they knew was best for that time. Of course, there are exceptions to everything. All the rules have exceptions. But I don't think you can say you have to blame the parent. Like, it's not a carpet. Blanket accusation where
for sure they try their best and sacrifices they do.
Yeah, that's what they know. Yeah, and what they knew is best at that point of time.
Yeah.
So
you don't think teachers and the people around us are also part of parenting?
Well, no, it takes a village.
Yeah.
To raise a child.
Yes.
That's what they say.
Well said stuff,
yes,
right?
Yes. We don't have a village nowadays.
That's
No, we don't have
there's
a
a problem.
village.
Yes, those kind of community stuff, which is where is there?
Yeah, that I don't think it's there now. The
Yes.
village concept is not available now.
The
You have to take
job is a big-
permission to tell off someone else's child. You know, it's not the way it used to be, where if someone did something outside and someone else saw, they'd put the effort to like redirect the child or provide advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure the child is safe. I don't think that is available now. It's
Yeah.
not there.
It's like commercial now. You have
Yeah.
to go extra stuff,
Yeah.
curricular, or have a coach, or what they call this, consultant or counselor,
Counselor.
the child
Yeah.
counselor now.
Yeah, we didn't have counselors growing up. No,
It's all
we
those.
were our own counselors.
Yeah, the ustad in the community stuff or society, they were the ones who were making them sit and listen to us, right?
Yeah.
So, just why I was talking about these things, because it's linked to the education stuff now.
Yes.
Because most of these things are in the schools now.
Yeah. But I think
And
exactly that's all in the schools. School systems are a lot more complex than they used to be. And the options for kids these days are a lot more.
they have too much in their plates now.
Yeah.
Don't think in the education part of their system they are able to cover those things, especially teachers also. From the teacher's perspective of thing I have seen, they are more feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, they're under pressure to deliver.
Yes, they have to do a lot of work.
They are.
And the way the system is built, like they have to write the objectives and goals, prepare the stuff before the week,
Yeah.
and give the homeworks, so many things. So do you think because of that, these trainings like yours, people have to do it extra outside the education system?
Maybe or maybe not. I think there's no one single issue. It's, I think, a bunch of issues that just came together, and then you're stuck with a situation. So for us, we've got Dar and Alephh. So Dar handles the English,
Okay.
and that is tailored for the government school kids mostly. So
So you collaborate with them?
we don't. We offer courses.
Okay.
So English language courses for kids. They get Cambridge exams that they sit for, and then they're certified from their degrees. They get a little certificate based on their level of achievement from Cambridge. But this is to compensate for what they're unable to do inside the school. For the government school, most of the day it's in Arabic. They've got, I think, probably 4 hours or 5 hours of English throughout the week. You're lucky if you have help at home.
Yeah.
You're one of the probably less lucky ones if you don't. Your exposure, do you watch TV? What do you watch? Can you pick up the language? Do you have a source that can support you at home or not? Otherwise, it's just those hours, those 5 hours a week or 6 hours a week, whatever it may be, that you're dependent on to learn the language. And frankly, that's not enough. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you've got the kids who are going to private schools. They have, let's say, 4 to 5 hours of Arabic, if they're lucky. And then the rest of the day is in English. So they come back home and they've got only a couple of hours before bedtime. If they have activities, most of them are running in English as well.
Yeah.
And the amount of interaction they have in Arabic is not much.
Okay.
So you have native speakers, supposedly native speakers of Arabic who do not speak Arabic.
Yeah.
And then you have, on the other side, that's your Arabic speakers who don't speak English or they're learning. But then that is not so bad because their L1 is Arabic, and that's the way it's supposed to be. It's the private school kids who are supposed to be speaking Arabic are speaking English, nothing but English.
So it's like, language is like becomes very tough. Personally for me, going back to India and learning some local language, and you want to run away from that because of that fear, you have to take another language. So you have to somehow take 3 languages.
Oh, wow.
They call it like first language, second language, third language.
Yes.
So every time I ran away and I had to take tougher, you get into tougher stuff. So language was like very challenging. Yeah, I know, every time, because you might be studying an English medium, but still you have to talk in some another language because
Yeah.
people are talking in their local language,
Yes.
and you're learning one more language. And
Exactly.
it's like you're messed up, man. You're not doing it really well.
Exactly. And I think that's the issue with the private school kids when it comes to learning Arabic. That's what they're facing, because what they're learning at school is your Fusha, your classical Arabic, your Fusha Arabic. So that is so different than your local colloquial ever spoken at home.
Yeah.
It's not the same. So, okay, some words
Okay.
would,
Try to
would
make it
be,
up. Okay.
yeah, but it's the grammar
Just like
structure
we
is
have,
different, the syntax is different.
just like we have, like, Urdu, and there is Hindi also.
It's the same thing.
No.
But the situation is the
Yeah,
same.
situation
You're
is the same.
speaking Urdu at home, but you're learning Hindi at
Hindi,
school.
and the writing, the scripture is also different. Script is also different.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this is like, that's why I felt like somewhere, because of the language problem, comprehension things there, you will not be able to read properly, learn properly, or write properly, or speak properly.
Speaking is innate.
Yes.
Reading is a man-made invention.
Mm.
So that's new. So what the kids are doing right now, they're trying to learn something that we've created.
Yeah.
So, and that's where it's a lot more difficult. It's seeing those letters and relating those letters to a sound and being able to pronounce the word, and it has to be fluent. And even then, they could be fluent readers, but they have no comprehension because they don't know what the words mean.
Even with context also, they cannot make it up.
They could, from a context,
If
they
they are
would.
very smart enough to do that, yeah.
But then that's a skill as well.
Yes. Which I learned like late in my life. Yeah. Okay, because of this context, okay, this is the meaning of this. But still, after a few days, you get to know that is not the real meaning for that. Yeah. So, personally, I felt like something I was missing there. I think maybe that is something which you were doing it. So, how do you really use the methodologies for these things? Yeah.
Well, for the Arabic, well, we start off with phonics with the kids. So we get them assessed.
Okay.
So we take in the child, depending on their age in your group or grade. We assess the child, but we assess the whole process, their foundation skills, all of them. We try to get a grasp of try to find out exactly what he knows, what he doesn't know.
Okay.
And then, based on that, we allocate him to a level, depending on where he's at.
So you do the survey thing or you interview him?
No, it's like a proper assessment. They book an assessment.
Exams?
Like, it's not like an exam. It's a very casual something, like with a teacher online over Zoom.
Okay.
So she'd ask the student a couple of questions. So, okay, find this, find that. Can you pronounce this? Can you pronounce that? What is this? Do you know what's off? Can you find discrepancy? Can you? It's several
Get it.
tasks that they do, and from that we get an idea of where to place the child. So the program that they get enrolled in is an 8-month program.
Okay.
It covers their foundational skills for reading, and we just place them within that.
Okay. So before I get into your Dar Al-Marifa,
That's Alephh,
and
the Arabic, and
Alephh
Dar
also,
Al-Marifa. Yeah.
I would like to know the reason, the inspiration which you got for this work.
Okay. Dar Al-Marifa was a family business, so it was always there. Some summers I'd actually spend time there and work there.
Okay.
It
Family business,
was
your parents started this.
Yes, my parents. It was never a passion for me, I didn't think. I studied finance.
Okay.
But then I switched pre-COVID. I think that was back in 2015 that I switched. So I went and I studied linguistics.
Really?
Yes. And joined forces.
Okay.
And started Alephh.
Okay. This is like any expansion of the Dar Al-Marifa.
Yeah, they're like sister companies now. So they work in tandem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was not like any proper passion or something. You just did it because there is something need for it.
Yes, but I think what triggered it is an interest of like how to get kids to actually read.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. It's just, you know, when you start researching and reading about something, that's it.
Okay, you saw
It
that.
fascinates you, right?
Yes.
And
That's the truth, right? Yani, that's reality that something gets
yeah,
missing out and nobody's
yeah,
doing. And you take responsibility for that.
I guess so. Yeah,
You're right.
that's a lot of responsibility in one statement there, but it's okay. Yes.
So you get into that. So, before that, yani, do you think that is a transformation which you got in your life? Yani, do you think this was like, okay, something I have got some meaning in my life? Because financial jobs and these things are like so routine and boring.
Yeah, it doesn't give back.
Yeah.
Finance doesn't. At least it wasn't giving back. There was no return for me.
So you want to give it back now by
So yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy reading about it. It I learned later on that that was never
yeah,
my path.
yeah.
But when I studied linguistics, I was just like, oh, this is it.
Really, huh?
This
But
is it.
just it's one of the toughest areas to get into. Yani.
That,
Are you committed to like yani, go for it like another 10, 20 years on that?
I don't know. Maybe I will actually.
Really, huh?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I felt like, when I got to know that there is something you can really comprehend,
Yeah.
make the distinctions, by reading, by listening to somebody, you can make a distinction of facts and opinion.
Yeah.
What's the truth and what's the reality,
Yeah.
what's false, and by reading, by knowing the stuff, by having those skills, you
Yeah.
can really become much better in many things.
True. And you got a lot of young, struggling readers.
Yeah.
So, and it's just impressive when you actually go and see, especially now post COVID. If we had proper research, like if the stats were done prior and post, I think there's a huge drop.
Huge drop, yeah.
There's a huge drop.
I heard some of the teachers saying like kids are blank.
The kids are back.
They don't know what is in teachers. They don't know what is the basic stuff. They don't know what is the math basic fundas, and
they're refusing to like pick up pencils and writing. Some of the schools are taking their devices away and forcing them to sit for written exams.
Yeah.
Because they just don't want to write.
Yes, they lost the interest in writing.
Lost the interest.
The cursive thing, and
the cursive is a whole issue on its own.
Yes, it's another level too.
That's another level. Let's not even go there. But it's really sad that they refuse. The parents are exhausted.
Yes.
They don't know how to deal with their kids anymore. Some of them are just frustrated.
Yes.
The onus is on the schools. The schools can't seem to cope. Some of them can't. But it takes a village.
Yeah. Yes.
So the parents have to come in, the schools have to come in, and all have to work together.
Yes. Social workers, the volunteers.
Yeah.
All these people have to come in and join in to work on this. Because otherwise, the future, I see that it's like people are either becoming specialization, but nothing is balanced.
Nothing is balanced, and the kids are losing their L1. Like, okay, let's not talk about the government school kids. They're actually putting the effort into learning the language, right? They're not doing a great job, but then they don't have the numbers of hours to meet that. And then you have on the other side is the private kids whose L1 is supposed to be Arabic. They don't speak it. Some understand. Some don't.
Strange.
And yeah, so you've got, if you lose the language, you lose your identity.
Yeah. Great point.
You lose your identity. So we're trying to save a generation, but I don't know how that's going to work out.
In the sales or the business, we say sometimes like, language is not a barrier, but it's a big challenge.
A barrier.
Because how do you communicate if you don't know what's language?
Yeah.
Because it's persuasion things, you need language. You
Yeah.
need to know how to talk, to tell the stories. I was happy to see some of the videos of your students
Yeah.
introducing themselves, their dreams, and writing their stuff and talking about it.
Yes.
Those things are like really amazing. Which I should acknowledge, like what you're doing there. Interesting to see that.
Yeah.
So that's something great. But how about your family? How did they react when you decided that I have to
Switch.
leave this switch from financials to
So-
linguistics?
I think they were supportive in their own ways.
Because they've already had this business.
Yeah. And yeah, I believe they were very supportive.
Mm.
And I did get a lot of support from them, and they gave me a good push.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm actually thankful.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't really get that a lot.
Yes.
You don't.
Yeah.
So,
Family, if they are with you, man,
yeah, it makes everything
easy.
smooth.
Yeah. Because you
That's
have
what
the
I'm saying.
support. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your biggest challenge now?
Well, I think we've got a lot of projects going on. Finding the time to actually put things together and get things smooth sailing. But I think I'm not really sure what the challenge would be.
So far, your whatever you're planning, it's happening.
It is. Whatever we've planned so far has gone nicely and smoothly. Like when we introduced Minecraft in Arabic, that was amazing.
Minecraft.
What is Minecraft?
The
Minecraft.
game?
The game, yes. But then we've got the educational edition. So it's not identical. So it's not like it is, but some of the features are not available.
Okay.
Like it is run in the game. So we've
Through
introduced
game, you're introducing the
yes, and we mostly do that for camps, for kid camps, and they have loads of fun because it's like a reward for them as well. So they get tasks within the worlds, and they have to complete those tasks. So they're constantly in and out of the world.
Oh.
Yeah. Minecraft education, true for some have got console, but it doesn't support Arabic. But we found a way around that. So and it's working well, and the
It's a
kids
unique
love
point
it.
for you now.
Yes, it's a unique selling point for us,
Wow.
and the kids enjoy it, and they're willing to do the effort, and they're willing to do like the worksheets, the work. They don't see it as work anymore. It's more of part of the game.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was a challenge for us. That was the challenge to actually get the kids engaged, because if you tell them, come over, let's study Arabic, it's just,
Yeah. It's boring and
it's boring.
always
It's
we want
dry.
to.
And they relate that to what they're doing in school. The texts they use at school they're not current for them. They're not relatable. So you've got these kids who speak English, who are reading Harry Potter, Percy Jackson,
Really?
Greek mythology. So they're reading all of that in English, right?
Okay.
And then you give them a text from I don't know when in Arabic. It doesn't
Really?
it
So
doesn't
bad?
well, that's what that's what they're saying. The kids they find the topics in the textbook as uninteresting. It's just not they don't have Ministry of Magic. They don't have. Maybe if they put, for example, Harry Potter and use that, the Arabic Harry Potter and use that, maybe that would be of interest to them. It'll be a lot more
They
relatable.
must be having Arabic ones.
There
They
are.
have, yeah.
There are. That's a lot more relatable. And it's not dry.
Yeah.
It's a bit more engaging. And then even how you teach kids nowadays, they learn through play, through
Online stuff. Yeah.
online gaming.
The
Can
card
actually be
systems.
yeah.
To memorize stuff.
They need to move.
There is,
But then-
gaming systems also. Like after every levels, you I don't remember.
They get points, right?
Points.
Yeah, it's like Duolingo.
Yeah, lingo.
Duolingo, like similar to now, you constantly get points and badges, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot more engaging for them because
Gamified.
it's gamified.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gamified and it's a lot more fun.
Yes.
so there are websites that provide that. Some schools do actually use, but I don't know to what extent they rely on gamification to keep the interest of the child going. I think that would be a plus for the schools.
Yeah.
Um,
But the love for language itself is not there, right? See, when I come from the background of marketing, if you ask me, like, if there is no what do you call attraction or interest, the desire for that to learn is not there.
that's
How will
true.
they take action then?
That's true. That's why you need to find the interest where is the interest of the child.
Mm,
You know, and if this child is 4 or 7,
okay.
what the interest is completely different when you've got a 13-year-old trying to learn the language.
Yeah.
You know, it's for language learning. This is always a chance. Either you have ownership and you take onus on yourself that this is what you want to do and this is what you want to learn. Otherwise, it's hard.
Yeah.
And I think that doesn't apply to just languages. It could apply to everything in life. If you want to do it and there is benefit for you and you see, then it is a selling point for you. And you can actually, if you need the child's buy-in.
Yeah. The first step.
Yep. Can you get the buy-in of the kid?
Mm.
So that's where, like, I always like to talk to the teachers, like, see, it's individualized. The learning is individualized. It can't be, it's not a cookie cutter anymore. It's not one size fits all. It has to be individualized. Some kids are better with movement inside the classroom to learn.
Yeah.
Some kids are not. And you need to understand the child and how the child works. Some kids are just stubborn. They just don't want.
Yeah. Like me. It's very hard. I just wanted to run away from Arabic. So I can relate to those kids.
Yeah.
But since you get into learning Quran,
Yes.
you automatically want to learn. You fall in love with Arabic.
Yes.
So you want to get into the deeper root meanings, and then you fall in love.
Because you're older.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
understand the
where
value of
that's where you see the need for you.
Yeah.
And then you appreciate it more. And if you get into the grammar as well and you're reading, you feel like, okay, this makes a lot more sense. Why didn't I do this earlier on in my life, right?
Yeah.
For these kids, they're 7,
They have no idea.
no, they're still busy with Minecraft, they're Roblox, and they're busy with their friends. So for them, that you're just taking them away from their own personal time. So you really need to work hard to make
something unique.
Yeah. Another thing with language learning is that it is hard and it's exhausting and it's a process.
Yeah.
And as a teacher should understand that. So it's not that the child does not want to learn. It's just a hard process and it's painful to remember all those letters and all those sounds and try to put them together. If they don't understand what they're reading, most of the time the issue is if they're not fluent, it's because they're putting so much energy into trying to read the word and pronounce it right. So you as a teacher can hear the right pronunciation. They can move on to the next word and to the next word. But then that doesn't mean the comprehension is there.
Yeah.
Because if you ask them, do you remember what you read? They won't.
Because they're
too busy trying to sort out these words, figuring them out and decoding them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very challenging though, Annie. I can see that, Annie.
It is. It's challenging. It's challenging for the teacher because the teacher needs to keep them engaged and interested. It's challenging for the child because if it's not fun and games, it's
how about you training the institutions and schools and managements, all these people, you become a top trainer and you become a corporate trainer and you train them how to do these things in the schools, if they agree.
See? That's interfering with management, school management.
Because you're going to change the curriculum. You're going to change the way it is working.
Yeah, you see, this is a bit I don't know. This could be possible. There are ways to make this work, but it would require the school's management to be interested and willing.
Yes.
And then it would require as well us understanding how the system works inside the school, how the
It has to
teachers
be
are teaching,
two people coming together.
yeah. So either they come in like, okay, we want to make this work, let's try to make this work, or I don't see it's happening. And then the thing is, you're always considered an outsider. So either,
their conditions will be considered to be the top ones.
of course,
Yeah.
and it's out of respect
How
for
about
the school.
reaching out to ministries?
If I can't manage the school, I'm going to manage the ministry.
Yes. Something to work on. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe, yeah, sure. I'm not going to say no to an opportunity.
Yeah. I think there are many ways. Many ways.
There are.
Because some of them, and I was fortunate enough to meet few guys who were like very smart enough to design the curriculum.
Yes.
And one of the brothers, and he was
Here in the ministry?
Not in ministry.
Okay.
I'm talking about outside the ministry.
Okay.
They're like, now homeschooling has become a new trend.
It has.
And it's a serious thing, Annie. People are
Especially
really doing it.
after COVID.
After COVID,
When COVID
has
during
really
COVID?
introduced many things.
Yeah.
And homeschooling is one of them.
Yes.
And the curriculum for kids to learn, it was like, first few years should be on the language. So I was so fascinated by the idea, till 7 to 8 age, you just focus on language, man.
Yes. Because the research says, if I'm not mistaken, that ideal age to start learning to read is 7. And we're sending kids to school at the age of 4.
And asking them to read and write.
Yeah. Some of the kids graduate from like kindergarten.
Yes.
Writing.
Yes. I know. I was like, where is the time for the parent to have kids? The bonding. The bonding is also missing there.
There's no. Yeah. They don't have
schooling so early.
Yeah.
Especially mother and the kids' time.
Yes.
It's so precious if they are spending more time together in early time. And if they are mostly in the school and mom is working by the time they reach.
Yeah. But that's life demands, right?
Yes. Going on in your case. So which is your main focus then? Alephh or Dar Al-Marifa?
Okay. Dar Al-Marifa is pretty much established. So Dar Al-Marifa is a smooth sail right now. We're doing amazing in terms of like being the only Bahraini institution that provides Cambridge exams on the island. For Alephh is we're providing mainly reading skills and comprehension. So we focus on young learners, their reading and their comprehension skills. We will be introducing as well the IGCSE program for Arabic, because the private school kids the ones with the Arabic passports need to sit for Arabic, an Arabic exam from Cambridge. So we're working on that as well. And hopefully launch it this year.
How come Cambridge is talking about Arabic?
No, it's because it's the requirement from the ministry, really. Because if you're in the British system, they use it for the IGCSE exams. So you have 5 main subjects, 3 electives.
Yeah.
So if you are a holder of an Arabic passport, automatically the ministry requires that you sit for the Arabic exam. So that cuts down your elective from 3 electives to 2 electives.
I see.
So your 5 basic subjects would be your math, English, and 3 sciences. And then you'll have 2 options for electives, and you'll sit for the Arabic.
I see.
Publishers.
Because of these affiliations, and if I'm not wrong, the affordability of these courses will be very high, maybe.
Yeah, but if you think about it, you actually are getting a lot more. So you're getting proper textbooks.
Okay.
The actual textbooks. You don't get photocopies. You sit for a proper exam. So it's not me giving you a certificate that, here you go, you've passed this level. This is your certificate. Your certificate comes from Cambridge. What else do you want? It's not me telling you your English is amazing.
Okay.
Cambridge is telling you your English is amazing.
Okay.
No?
So Dar Al-Marifa is all about English, and
All about English.
Alephh
Alephh
Education
is all about Arabic for now, but we are planning to introduce a couple of other things.
Germany and French.
No, probably not. Well, maybe. Who knows?
Okay.
But that's not in the immediate pipeline.
Mm.
Yeah. Right now, it's focusing on Arabic and probably like other soft skills.
But this Cambridge institution is regulated at least.
Yeah. Why would I need anyone else, right?
Yeah,
I've
that's
got
enough.
Cambridge.
And they themselves are doing it. They're also.
I've got their textbooks. I provide their exams.
Mm-hmm.
I prepare the students to sit for those exams.
Mm-hmm.
We deal directly with Cambridge
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to like their publications.
Mm.
So we are in constant communication with them.
Very nice.
Yeah.
When did you see Dar Al-Marifa growing into leading institution, Yani?
Oh, growing up, I guess.
Yeah.
Growing up
You
with
have
it.
seen,
Yeah. Because I've witnessed its establishment and its growth.
It has helped you also while growing up having these kind of training. You were introduced into it, or you were sent out of Bahrain, Yani? Because you don't sound like Yani, the local speaker in a English speaker.
No, I don't know. No, I think a bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I think a bit of both.
You have been outside of Bahrain also.
Yes.
Mm.
So
That's why there is no, the Bahraini accent into English. Okay.
but you know what? It's hard to like maintain an accent.
Yeah.
Like to have a perfect accent is hard.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Mm.
So with the language learning,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things
So which English?
teachers shouldn't press on
Yes.
when it comes to teaching.
So
They shouldn't press on the accent.
So which English are you using in your UK or US? That is a funny stuff between them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be more American. I think.
Yeah.
I think.
But you are having the Cambridge,
But I have the Cambridge,
which is UK,
which is UK.
where you are taking.
But we're all speaking English.
But speaking
That's
English
fine.
of US, Yani.
Of the US.
All your English, Yani. So, what's your vision for a future generation, Yani?
Well,
So I see Alephh Education is something, a tangent which you took it for. That
it's
much.
young. Alephh is young. It's
Very neat.
it just like last March was our first year. So coming March is our second year. So it's second year. So it's young. So I think for what it's been doing so far since we started Alephh, I think it's doing amazing. And the feedback I'm getting is beautiful. So I'm always in awe, like speaking to the parents. I think I never expected that as well. But for me, to me, that's the return. Like when I speak to the parents, like, so how are your kids enjoying it? Are they learning? Are they benefiting? Can you see the impact of it at home? And they tell me that they do. That's like my reward. That's like,
Hey, motivation for you.
exactly. That's a drive. That's my drive.
So
That is my drive.
how's your plan for the any vision for the future generation of Bahrain or beyond?
Well, I aspire to have a lot more research done for your L2 speakers of Arabic. I really, really would like to see that.
Because I have seen individual level, there's so many projects have been launched, especially for Arabic, to learn Arabic or Quran Arabic, or so. Why not like any? There should be a forum where everybody shares, their ideas and
I think there are a lot of forums out there online.
already.
Yeah. Forums per se, where they exchange all that. Yes, there is a lot. I think what we're missing out on is research.
Research about what?
Like our readers, their fluency, their reading rates, their comprehension.
Yeah.
Those aspects, like especially like depending on what curriculum the school is using.
I see.
That would be interesting to see, because you can always You can always like gather the data and then analyze it, and you'd be surprised the information that you can get out of it. Like we do a few of that with our students. Like we monitor their reading, and we do like simple stats in-house, and we keep track of it. It helps a lot because you can see where the kids are really, really struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps us when we start developing or tailoring or tweaking the program so it meets that specific student.
Mm-hmm. Even this is something someone has interest already. Are you taking some efforts to put efforts on building the interest for Arabic, and psychologically find out there are mental health issues also these days, a lot happening.
For the
ADHD
kids,
issues,
yes,
mental issues, and
yes,
when we were like 6, 7, we were like we were treated like mature.
yeah.
Now 6, 7, we still treat them like like a baby, So there is some imbalance where
There are a lot of issues. You've got dyslexia, you've got
yes,
ADHD, you've got other learning disabilities that hinder their
we
performance.
never saw before.
Yeah, sometimes just getting ear infections is the cause of the delay in speaking or reading. These are things that parents, well, you do your regular checks. If you're concerned about your child, you do take them and have them checked, but not a lot of parents see that as something to take into consideration when it comes to the kids' learning.
Yeah.
That, okay, the speech delay, is it because of an ear infection, constant, like continuous, or so these are things that are getting their eyesight checked on a yearly basis.
Something to note down, yeah.
Yeah, these are like simple things. Like it might not be the case. Maybe your child genuinely is just, I won't say slow, but is taking his time learning.
Yeah.
And that's fine too.
Yeah.
We learn at different paces, right? We're not equal.
Conscious parenting is something where it's everybody has like challenge nowadays as a parent, So these basic stuff, it's something unnoticed also.
Yeah.
Like you have added a good point there.
Yeah. If they can't hear the sound, they can't produce it.
So, what is inspiring you to keep going with this project? A little more deeper, inshallah.
I think it's seeing the reward with the kids, like seeing how they progress and how they pick up reading, and then like watching them start from just understanding the letters and the complexity of them, and they start to read 3-letter words, and they're enjoying the process of learning. That keeps me going. What keeps me going as well, trying to figure out better ways for them to not just read, but comprehend what they're reading.
Yeah. That itself is keeping.
Yes, because each child comes individual, like as it's a case on its own.
Yeah.
So that I find very
motivating you.
Yeah.
So I know I'm taking a lot of time to drill in. So how about your any piece of advice for youth of today?
Well,
if they have missed out these kind of privileges to learn language.
Well, always learn a language. It's always good. Keeps those that area of your brain constantly engaged.
Yes.
I think it delays Alzheimer's as well.
Oh.
I think so. So there's something for you to look forward to.
One of the well-known speaker like Noman Ali Khan, he teaches Arabic also.
Yeah.
But he challenges himself to study different languages also.
Yes.
His idea is that like last year, a few days, I don't know, maybe recently, for a whole year, challenge was to learn Hebrew language
Oh, yay. That's very easy. That should be easy
because of the Arabic.
Yeah.
But of course, the scripture is different. Script is different,
Yes,
but the meanings and everything kind of connected with Arabic also
correct.
because of the culture. But yeah, the idea of learning language is something to work on.
Yeah, and
Everybody
some
can
language would be fast. You'd learn some language faster than others. Like different languages are connected.
somehow connect.
Yeah. So Hebrew is connected to
Yeah.
Arabic. So that's why it should be easy. The alphabet is not the same. But in terms of
So you advise our youth of today to work on the language.
work on languages, like challenge yourself, like learn German, learn French, learn whatever your heart desires.
Nowadays, everyone wants to travel.
Yes, it'll help you a lot
Yes.
when it comes to traveling.
But do you think that
And it expands your mind.
the tools which we are using nowadays, translate stuff, Google Translate, and people are using those things to.
The kids are using it at school,
Yeah.
especially for Arabic.
Really?
Yeah. Like if they're faced with an exam that's in Arabic, some of the kids have resorted to Google Translate. That's the problem with COVID. When
Really?
COVID came along and their online exams, they resorted to like translate the text. And I think there's an option in the forms where you can translate the form as well.
Yes.
Correct? On Google.
Yes.
So yeah. But
Google
the meaning is never the same. Okay.
Sometimes its meaning is like.
Not never the same.
Yes.
That's an exaggeration on my part. But like most of the time, the meaning is off.
So people are,
But they're slow readers. You can't blame them. They're sitting for an exam. It's in Arabic. Their reading rate is very slow. It's not fluent.
It's
And even
alarming now. Especially for the Middle East, it's alarming.
It is alarming. You've got to.
One of the top 5 languages Arabic.
Yes.
For the fact. So.
And one of I think
maybe
it's like one of the
last
toughest.
after-
One of the toughest to learn.
I don't think it's the toughest.
Check it. Research it. See.
Really?
Yeah. It's not the toughest. It's one of the hardest
Yeah.
to learn.
So, great. I don't know how because the huge population in the Middle East is still bind to Arabic language. Maybe they are considering it as spoken language. Maybe someday it will disappear.
You have your spoken, yeah, but we need to expose the kids to more Arabic literature.
Yeah.
And they need
So
to see the beauty of it. I'm still learning myself. And as you said, like when you're nowadays, like even the grammar, learning the grammar is not easy. But if you see value in it and it does actually help you understand and what you're reading, when you start breaking down words, so it helps.
Yes.
The kids don't see that. Everything just comes to them so easily nowadays.
Yeah.
It's a walk in the park for them. And English has taken over. There are a lot of nice projects that are going on. There's this Arabic competition in Dubai that they do.
I see.
For reading. That is an amazing project, but not all the kids are interested in it. Like if they're good readers, they'll do it. If they're not, they'll shy away from it. It's not even. It's because it's such a challenge. They don't want to put the time and effort in it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
So you are allowed to do any kind of activities other than, teaching or anything like events or programs where you can have the competition or try this kind of,
We could probably do
allocations, essay writing, making filmmaking things. There are so many creative things can be done.
There's a lot that you can do to engage kids. It's finding
engaging their parents also.
The parents,
because sometimes I feel like it's not only kid.
No, it's not always the kid. Sometimes the parents don't really help.
They force the kids to talk in English.
No, they don't force their kids. They want them to.
That culture.
Well, I think what happens is we choose international schools for the children. And then what happens is one of the fallbacks of these schools is it's lack of focus on Arabic, no matter what you do. And it's not, it's not to say that the schools don't want to focus on the language. If you think about it, it's your exposure to the language. So if you are only exposed to the language for 5 hours or 6 hours a week during the school day, and then after school, you're back home at 3 or 4,
Mm.
and then you get shuttled between activities.
Yeah.
You are back home from all of that around 7. That's 7 to 8 to 9. And what are you doing then? You are having your dinner,
Homework.
if any, and then you're tucked into bed.
Yes.
So
The whole day is gone.
the whole day is gone, and most of your activities are probably sports. So maybe maybe these activities are run in English as well. So I don't know. Depends on what they're doing.
Mm.
But if you think about it collectively in 1 week, you have 5 hours. Okay, I'll be nice. I'll give you another 5 hours. So that's 10 hours a week. 5 classical Arabic hours, and then 5 colloquial.
If there is serious.
If.
Mm.
So collectively, you don't have exposure. If you want your child to learn a second language, you need a 50-50 exposure at least. So they tell you, research says like, okay, if you want your child to learn a second language, one parent would speak, for example, English, if you're a native of English, and the other would speak Arabic, for example, or whatever other language, if you're a native of that language.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for example, if you've got a grandparent, that's something else.
Mm-hmm.
They would speak only that language with the child.
Yeah.
Here you can possibly, but then that depends on the child as well.
Yeah.
You might end up with a bilingual child.
Yeah.
Nowadays, okay, there's a term for it, which I forgot. They can understand the language probably, not fully, but they can't speak it.
Strange. Yeah.
Or if they speak it, they're not fluent. So it just
Mix up.
it's a mashup
mix
of
of
everything, or
Not even Fusha. Okay.
it's not even Fusha. Or some of the kids actually end up just speaking Fusha because that's what they've learned at school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they
Which is good. Which is tougher for someone who doesn't know Fusha to really communicate with each other. Then.
yeah, but it does. You probably get bullied a lot with the other kids, because the rest of the kids are probably speaking local.
Yes.
The local dialect or whatever spoken at home of Arabic, and this child comes in like, I'll play with you, but I'll speak Fusha.
Oh man.
Aww.
How about people for those days? If you ask my father, he has learned 8 languages.
MashaAllah.
Came 40 years back, 40 plus years in Bahrain now, retired, but still very actively knows the Arabic.
Yes.
And he knows the Fusha, Muharraki Fusha. Yani means
MashaAllah.
Muharraki guy means those Muharraki people will immediately identify that he is from Muharrak.
Yes.
They had their accents. So he learned Arabic when he was here, and he learned it from people here. And nowadays, those who are coming, corporates and professionals to Bahrain, including me, yani, we never put an effort to learn Arabic because we were exposed to people who are already talking in English.
Yeah.
The locals here, they know English
Yes.
better now.
Yes.
Better than 20 years back,
Yes.
20, 30 years back.
Yes.
So maybe that is one of the reasons the non-native guys are missing out on Arabic, and the native guys are not interested in Arabic.
Yeah. That's why Dar Al-Marifa was there,
Oh,
because they didn't speak English.
so Arab is the problem then.
Yeah, well, not really.
Yeah.
But it's helping a lot of the government school kids, and it's nice to see those
It's good
kids.
to know the English. It's fine.
Yeah, but they'll need it.
Yes.
They'll need it. Like these
Globally,
kids,
it's a global now.
they have limited opportunities. Now, if they're going to go work most of the jobs will require them to speak the language.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
need to know both.
Yeah. And on contrary, your private school kids
Yes,
will not be able to write a letter in
that's
Arabic.
so sad thing. They should be really taking
It's a
this.
payoff, no? It's a
Yeah.
payoff.
So, what's your upcoming projects and things you want to share other than before I go into rapid fire questions, which is most interesting session we're gonna have. But before that, if you want to share something or for future projects, or you have anything in your mind, which I think maybe I missed out on asking.
No, we've actually talked about all of them. I mean, Minecraft is there for the Arabic. You have in the Tanween, the program, which is your 8-month program where we focus on reading, the foundational reading skills. The kids,
Any age or specifically?
it's like the curriculum is targeted for young learners, right? But these are used for any age.
Any age, okay.
So it's any age really. And then you've got Dar Al-Marifa that provide your Cambridge exams if you want exemptions for the university.
Okay.
So,
Not just normal language.
no.
Even for the businesses.
Yes, for businesses as well. Your IELTS.
Exams and
Exactly.
before going to any international
University or education. Or sometimes just working abroad, you just need it. So
great. So alhamdulillah, we were able to cover, and I hope so far you have enjoyed. But wait till the end, because the rapid fire question is something most interesting. So let me ask you a few rapid fire questions, which is like about you mostly, because I know you were trying to hide something, but
yeah, I don't talk about my personal life.
yes, yeah, it's good. It's sometimes it's not good. So maybe people want to know you, because if you have done so many things, there must be something special about you. So,
Oh,
yeah. So, what do you want yourself to be remembered?
To be remembered?
Yeah.
For?
Yeah.
I would say getting being able to like trigger that comprehension in their reading.
Really?
Yeah. That would be like super. To find that trigger for them.
For the trigger kids. For the kids to go for it.
Yeah. So like, yeah.
Yeah, nice. So, what are you most grateful for in your life?
I'm grateful for my family.
And?
For both my families.
Okay.
For the people who taught me.
Yeah, nice.
The people who came to my life. And I'm also grateful for all of them.
How long does it take for you to get trust on somebody?
Trust?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I don't know.
Any few conversations? And
maybe a conversation or a couple of conversations, and then if something happens, then.
What do you do when you get angry?
What do I do when I get angry? I think I call my brother and vent.
So you have a brother supporting you.
Yes.
Nice. So when rapid fire question is, mashallah, you are doing it. Like, it has to be very quick. It's good. So, which social influencers do you see these days, like on social media or any platform, who is really impressing you, Annie? Who can be really good for so we can also follow someone?
I don't know.
Really?
I'm not that good. Sorry.
No social influencer at all.
No.
Don't tell me it's Muhammad Isi. Muhammad Isi, you're watching this.
Muhammad Isi, no. First person not to follow.
Okay. Yeah. So, what is one thing that annoys you the most?
Unnerves me?
Yeah. What is one thing that annoys you the most?
Annoys me?
Yeah.
I think complaining. When it comes to work, I think.
So.
Not complaining. You can complain. I think what annoys me, if not, is not being able to find a solution or come up with a solution.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be annoyed by something and like you can complain about something.
What is
but think of a solution. So at least
use your mind. You mean?
Oh, that sounds a bit harsh, but okay.
Which is good. Okay, so what is one great thing people don't know about you?
I don't know.
Think.
I can't think of anything.
Really?
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Pass it down.
Thank you.
So what book has made a profound effect on you?
I don't know. I think I enjoyed books.
Mhm.
I think, don't ask me about the content. I'll give you names. Don't ask me about the content. The Outliers probably was a good read for me. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's the one that comes to mind. The rest are just like chick flicks and like you read for your book club and that's it.
So what is that one new technology that can transform the future, according to you?
According to me, technology that can transfer the future.
A new technology.
A new technology.
Yeah.
And the internet.
You're taking time to.
The internet.
Internet is already old, yani. 30
That's the
years
thing.
now.
I don't know.
You know the apps and then
Probably.
VR.
I think
How about VR?
VR. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Some actually use VR for language learning.
Yes, because that is one of the way you can teach.
Yeah.
And
then
remove the fear.
exactly, and they actually use it
one
for some of the lectures.
guys who discovered and he had this project in Bahrain, I know them, and for Microsoft some competition, they found this VR thing
Yeah.
where they are talking to a virtual fake audience,
Yeah.
which is amazing. Someone like me who before, if I had like talking to like hundreds of people, will be like fear factor.
Exactly, and it's good for the kids as well. Some of them who are shy or are insecure about certain aspects, so they actually can build their character, and then attend their classes virtually.
Okay. So what are 3 skills you wish you learned earlier in your life?
3 skills I wish I learned. Okay, this is going to sound weird. Probably coding. I wish I was a better gamer. Yeah. A third one. I think I wish I had a bit more discipline.
Okay, when I say like one word stuff, like
Okay.
let's say happiness, what comes to your mind?
Content.
America? Nothing comes to your mind?
No.
Money?
The song Money, Money, Money.
Funny, it was funny random question. So politics?
Everybody lies.
So when are you most productive?
When am I most productive? I think the mornings. I think. But then sometimes the evenings if it's really nice and quiet. And like
So you had any greatest like failures so far?
failures? Failure at doing things
Anything, any failure, any project or any venture?
that failed. No, I don't think it's failure. It's just taking me so much more time to learn things.
So you are in the process still.
Yeah.
Did not give up
So
anything.
no. I don't think it's failure. Sometimes it's basically what you're trying to do to reach an objective isn't really working out, and you just need to change your strategy.
Pivot.
Yeah. Go at it from a different angle.
What's your favorite memory?
My favorite memory? What kind of hard questions are these, man?
Yeah.
See, this is when you wish you're Muhammad Isa. Because he could come up with something. I can't come up with anything.
Okay. So
He'd pull it out of the hat just like that. And you'd be like, what?
So lately you had any like, emotional stuff happened in your life?
Emotional stuff?
Yes.
No.
I know you're most chilled and very nice and
Thank
very,
you.
very, very, very fun loving. So anything emotionally happened or you lost somebody or anything which has really hit you?
Dang. Yeah. But like life goes on, right? There's not much you can do about it. You just take the good moments and you move on.
Yes. Interesting interview for me today. So one more thing is, okay, it's last thing.
Tell me.
How was this conversation or interview? Maybe you think it's interview, but it's conversation basically.
Yeah, it is.
How was it?
It was good.
This
It
was
was
the last
fun.
question.
I think there's a lot of editing to do.
It's not gonna be editing, inshallah. And I think we had really different conversation. It's like very much into language part,
Yeah. Yes.
and I think
There's a lot to be said about language. I mean, you can.
did we miss anything?
We missed out on a lot of things.
Like what?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think with language, it's there's always it's deep, right? So you can talk about one aspect of language and you can talk for hours and hours. So it's not like you missed out on anything.
Yeah.
I mean, probably missed out on the depth of the topic, but apart from that, no, it's a good catch-all on everything.
Just to add, if anything, which I can in the middle, if something, because so far I feel like you have really shared it
What?
about the language thing, but the transformation from Dar Al-Marifa to it's not transformation. I think this is just an idea you got it
What?
for Alephh Education.
Yes, Alephh, we developed the curriculum in-house. It was developed in-house, and we run it for a bit as a side project to actually see the outcomes. So we didn't just like put it out there. It was a process where we developed the material, tested it out, tweaked it a bit, and then presented it as Alephh or under Alephh.
Nothing much like any inspiring there.
No, there's not like a glamorous story of like I had a
Maybe those who
struggling reader.
those who people who are promoting their products and projects. I don't know how they get this glamorous stories.
No, you know what? Some people have a story behind
Every project.
their project,
Yeah.
right? And I could probably sit down here and tell you, oh yes, I have a story behind my project. You know, but this is probably just not me.
Yeah.
I think if you've got something good, just do it. Get out. Yeah, just do it. Get out. If there's something missing, I think it's not a story as much as there's a gap.
Yeah.
There's a gap in the market.
Yeah, you're just filling it.
And we're just filling that gap. And we're trying to be structured about it. We're trying to be, because, I think we're trying to be structured about it. Something proper. It's designed. It's not like an art project or a deco art where you stick everything together and just present it. And it's based on research. It's based on basically based on like research and education and what was out there, and
facts and figures are
facts
telling
and
you.
figures of what we have available in terms of how kids learn to read. And then you take that and
your love for comprehension, how did it come? And is it because you got exposed to it, or
the level of comprehension
yeah,
and reading,
yeah,
because I see it as an issue. It's a struggle with most of the parents, and you can hear the parents are.
Is it only with Arabic people or Arabic language?
Well,
in English,
it could be any
language.
It could be any language. I mean, when I'm talking about Alephh specifically, I'm talking about the Arab parents who have kids who are not speaking, not reading, or speaking their local language but they can't read. If I'm talking about, for example, Dar Al-Marifa, I'm talking about kids who want to learn how to read English and comprehend English, and that's their parents' concern as well. So it could be any language. It could be any parent out there.
Yeah.
We've as parents we've contributed to their language loss by choosing the schools we choose, by choosing the friends they hang out with, what they watch on TV, what they what their extracurricular activities are. We're choosing. But I think what parents should understand is you can take all those decisions and that's very fine. You just know the drawbacks and be prepared to deal with those drawbacks. In the end, this is what's offered. This is their time, right? This generation is completely different than ours.
Yeah.
Different than our parents.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Adding so much value to discussion today.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope if people are really serious about comprehension, trust me, you don't know what is comprehension maybe, if you really, really did not enjoy this. Because for me, when I understood what is comprehension, what is distinction to be made, I was like, I wish I had this very early.
It's hard.
Yes.
It's
Maybe
a complex skill.
it can be easy if we got to know this like very early. I think this is something which is done, I think, normally in West. I don't know if not everybody gets this there, but some are privileged to
I
have these
think
things.
certain degrees, like, I think I've seen it more in the master programs
Yes.
than in your bachelor. Your bachelor, you're just trying to finish it and just getting on with it. And
compared to students here, I have seen, and one of the schools I see here is, I don't remember the name. The students who come out of this school, it's in Rifa, big school, which is that big school, well-known school, which if you know, they're charging like thousands.
they're all
So one of the schools in Bahrain, the pass outs of those school students are very smart enough, and when compared to others, both Arabic and English, they're very smart and comprehending the language, understanding the ability to learn, the present also, to talk about it, anything, and they know how to tell the stories also.
Yes.
So I feel like there is something special they're teaching there, or they have this kind of programs where they teach first how to learn before they learn something.
Yeah.
Learn to learn.
Learn to learn, yes.
Something which.
But all of that is transferable. So if you have that in one language, you can easily transfer it to another language.
Yeah, another language. Because if you know the fundamentals of that, you can use it. It's like any sports. You learn the principle of that. You can use it in anything, even in your life.
Yeah.
So I felt like this was something. It doesn't take anybody. It's 20 days or 1 month course maybe, just to understand how comprehension works.
Yeah.
So if anybody gives 20 minutes, I don't know your courses how many minutes, but if somebody really wants to know 20 to half an hour for 1 month or 2 months, just give it in hardcore energy. You can learn the comprehension skills. Please, if you if you don't know, really research on that. I'm sure you maybe 5-10 years down the line, you will thank me and Alia. Yeah, and you'll say, okay, thank you, Kazi. This was like 10 years back. You told us, and it really works. Trust me, honey. So thank you so much. Well, this was today's episode. Make sure to follow us. Our in the description you'll find all the links, and see if you can add some value to this discussion if possible, and make sure you're sharing it with your friends and family. So see you in the next episode. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.